Today we are not going to ask which AI tool is the best. That question usually wastes time. Today we are going to build a simple tool picker. By the end, you will know when to try ChatGPT. You will also know when Gemini, Claude, or NotebookLM makes more sense. The output is one reusable decision table and one verification checklist. Look at the finished result first. Column 1 is the task. Column 2 is the best free path to try first. Column 3 is the limit you must watch. Column 4 is the check before you trust the answer. This table is not a ranking of AI companies. It is a way to avoid using the wrong tool, wasting file uploads, or handing over a clean-looking answer that is still wrong. This is AI Everyday Lab, where we turn tool choices into repeatable workflows. The first decision is not the model name. The first decision is where your material is and what kind of output you need. If you have one redacted PDF, one spreadsheet, or one simple document, ChatGPT can be a starting point. OpenAI's help page says ChatGPT supports common document, spreadsheet, presentation, and text file types. The same official FAQ says free users have tighter file upload limits. So the first rule is simple. Do not spend an upload before you know exactly what you want from the file. Our first sample is a fake course registration PDF. It has names, dates, fees, and status notes. Do not use private school records, client files, medical details, or company documents for practice. Use a dummy file or a redacted copy. The prompt should not be vague. Instead of saying, "Summarize this file," say this. Only use information visible in the file. Create a table with item, date, amount, status, and needs human review. If you are unsure, do not guess. Mark the cell as uncertain. The second decision is whether you need document understanding or data work. If the job is turning a file into a table and checking totals, ChatGPT or Gemini may both be reasonable first choices. Google's Gemini help page says Gemini apps can upload documents, spreadsheets, photos, videos, and more. It can also accept multiple files in one prompt. It also says you must be signed in, and work or school accounts may depend on administrator settings. So the second rule is this. A tool may support a feature, but your account may not have that feature available right now. Check sign-in, file size, and quota before you build the workflow around it. The third decision is whether you have many sources. If you have several PDFs, articles, notes, or research pages, NotebookLM is often a better structure. That is especially true when you want answers grounded in those sources instead of a general chat answer. NotebookLM's official help explains that source imports have limits and protected PDFs can fail. So the third rule is this. NotebookLM is useful when the source set matters. It is not a reason to trust an answer without looking back at the source. The fourth decision is whether you are working with long text. Claude's Help Center lists common document upload support and gives guidance for PDFs. Claude can be useful for reading, comparing, and rewriting long text. But it still has usage limits and the output still needs review. So the fourth rule is this. Use Claude for long document understanding when it fits. But do not let it invent certainty around dates, numbers, or missing details. Now we put the tools into one decision table. Task 1 is turning one PDF into a checked table. Try ChatGPT or Gemini first. The limit is file upload quota and file quality. The check is row count, total amount, and 3 sample cells. Task 2 is summarizing several source documents. Try NotebookLM first. The limit is source import and citation behavior. The check is whether the answer points back to the actual source. Task 3 is rewriting a long document for a coworker. Try Claude or ChatGPT first. The limit is that the rewrite may sound more certain than the source. The check is whether the final version preserves exceptions, dates, costs, and warnings. Task 4 is doing a first pass on a spreadsheet. Try ChatGPT or Gemini first. The limit is that unclear column names can cause bad assumptions. The check is asking for column definitions before asking for totals or anomalies. Now let's run the workflow. Step 1 is to name the task before you open a tool. Our task is not, use AI on this PDF. Our task is, turn this redacted PDF into a table that a human can check. That wording matters because it tells the AI what kind of result is acceptable. A pretty table is not enough. A checked table is the target. Step 2 is choosing the tool. Because this is one file and the output is a table, we try ChatGPT or Gemini first. If the ChatGPT upload limit is reached, we can try Gemini. If both tools are unavailable or the file is too messy, we convert a safe sample into text first. Then we paste only the part we need. This is not about loyalty to one tool. It is about matching the task to the tool that is available today. Step 3 is writing the prompt. Do not write, make this nicer. Write this instead. Only use information visible in the file. Create a table with item, date, amount, status, and needs human review. Do not fill missing values from common sense. If a cell is unclear, mark it uncertain. At the end, list the clues you used from the source. This prompt prevents the most common failure. The AI wants to be helpful, so it may smooth over missing information. We want the opposite. We want uncertainty to stay visible. Step 4 is reading the first output. Do not copy it yet. Check 3 things first. Count the rows. Check a total or a sample amount. Look for blanks that the AI quietly filled in. If any of those checks fail, the table is not ready. It may still be useful, but it is still a draft. Step 5 is asking for an audit pass. Use a second prompt. Check whether this table may have missing rows, duplicate rows, or cells that should be marked uncertain. Add a human review column. Mark cells that must be checked against the original file. This changes the AI from producing to reviewing. That small change makes the workflow safer. Step 6 is the human spot check. You do not need to redo the whole document immediately. Start with the riskiest cells. Check one money value. Check one date. Check one blank or unclear field. If all 3 pass, then check the total and row count. If one fails, do not just fix that one cell. Rewrite the prompt and run the extraction again. One mistake is usually a signal that the workflow needs repair. Here is the final reusable rule. ChatGPT is useful when you want fast file work in a normal chat. But watch the upload limits, and do not assume all free accounts have the same headroom. Gemini is useful when it can handle the file type and account settings, especially when you want a Google Web App workflow. Claude is useful for long documents and rewriting, but you still verify specific claims. NotebookLM is useful when your source set is the center of the task. None of them should be trusted as the final reviewer. The final reviewer is your checklist. There are 3 takeaways. First, free AI tools are not unlimited, so define the job before uploading anything. Second, different tools fit different materials, so stop forcing every task into one chat box. Third, the first AI answer is a draft. The usable answer is the one that survives row counts, totals, source checks, and uncertainty labels. One more decision is easy to miss. If the material contains personal data, company information, or client names, the first step is not choosing a tool. The same is true for medical records. The same is true for school records, contracts, or private addresses. The first step is making a safe version of the material. Keep the structure, but replace real names, phone numbers, account numbers, and addresses with sample values. Replace contract details with sample values too. Test the workflow on that safe version first. Only after the method works should you decide whether the real file can be processed in an approved environment. A polished answer is not the same as a correct answer. Before you share it, ask 3 questions. Did the tool mark uncertainty? Did it preserve the source limits and exceptions? Did it give you a way to check the answer against the source? If the answer is no, fix the prompt before switching tools. If the repaired prompt still fails, then choose a different tool. Turn this into a one-week operating routine. On Monday, test one small task, such as meeting notes or receipt cleanup. On Tuesday, change the material type. Try an image, a PDF, or a table, and see whether the same tool still fits. On Wednesday, do the most important step, check 3 numbers, 3 names, and 3 limits against the original source. On Thursday, save the prompt that worked, and label the tool that failed with the reason it failed. On Friday, decide which tool stays in your workflow next week and which tool gets removed. That is how you stop chasing new tools and start building a practical AI standard of your own. If you like AI Everyday Lab, like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications.